Chosen one, in your mind's eye, I want you to visualize the heavy bag you have been carrying on your back for the last few years. You know the one. The weight of the bills, the debt, the constant need to figure it all out by yourself. Feel how heavy it is. Good. Now, take a deep spiritual breath and drop it. You heard me. Mentally, let it hit the ground. Because the notification you have been praying for has just been released in the spirit realm. You did not click on this video by accident. Your spirit pulled you here because the transaction is already pending. God is saying, the probation period is over. You passed. But there is a specific frequency of worry currently jamming the signal between heaven's supply and your bank account. It is a biological loop in your brain that keeps you in survival mode, even when the rescue has arrived. In the next few minutes, we are going to break that loop. We are going to sign the contract of your new season, and you will walk away from this video not just relieved, but funded. Do not let your mind wander. This is the shift. You are asking, if I pass the test, why is my bank account still empty? Why is the transaction approved in heaven but pending on earth? To understand this, we need to look at Matthew 6:33 properly. You have heard it 1,000 times. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. But the English translation hides the intensity of what Jesus was actually saying. The Greek word used for seek here is zeteo. Zeteo does not mean a casual look. It describes a frantic, desperate craving. It is the way a starving animal looks for food. It is a consuming passion. Most chosen ones are using that zeteo energy to seek money, to seek solutions, to seek relief. You are hunting for provision with the same desperation that you should be using to align with the source. And because your energy is frantic, you are repelling the very thing you need. The verse says if you switch that desperation toward alignment, everything else will be added. The Greek word for added is prostithemi. It means to be deposited automatically. It implies no effort on your part. It is like interest accruing in a savings account. You do not work for interest. You just position your money, and the interest is added. So here is the hard truth. The money has not arrived yet because you are still trying to hunt for it, instead of positioning yourself to receive it. You are acting like a hunter when God has called you to be an heir. This brings us to the context of your pain. I know it has been hard. I know you have felt abandoned. You have watched wicked people prosper, while you, the righteous one, struggled to buy groceries. You thought God was punishing you. You thought you made a mistake that disqualified you. But you need to understand the difference between income and provision. Income is what you earn through the world system by selling your time and sweat. Provision is what God releases through covenant. For the last season, God has been weaning you off the world system. He had to dry up your income so you would learn to depend on provision. Look at Deuteronomy 8:2. God explains exactly why he led Israel through the wilderness. He says, "And you shall remember that the Lord your God led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble you and test you, to know what was in your heart." Notice the pattern. The lack was not an accident. It was a curriculum. It was a probation period. Any high-level job comes with a probation period where you are tested before you are given full access to the company accounts. God had to see if you would still worship him when the fridge was empty. He had to see if you would still be faithful when the credit score dropped. That was the test. And the end of that verse says, he did it to do you good in the end. That is where you are right now. You are at the end. The probation is over. The background check is complete. You have proven that you want the giver, not just the gifts. So the restrictions on your account are being lifted. But listen closely, because this is where most people miss it. Just because the probation is over does not mean the money automatically flows if your internal receiver is broken. There is a physiological reason your prayers feel blocked. It is called the cortisol ceiling. When you worry about money, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Your heart beats faster. Your stomach tightens. I bet you can feel that tightness right now when you think about your debts. That physical reaction puts your brain into beta waves. That is the frequency of survival. It is the frequency of fight or flight. And here is the spiritual danger. You cannot receive a divine download when your brain is in survival mode. The two frequencies cannot exist in the same space. This is why Philippians 4:7 is so critical. It says, "The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds." The Greek word for guard is phoreo. It is a military term. It means to mount a garrison, to station a sentinel. Imagine a soldier standing at the door of your mind, holding a shield, stopping every anxious thought from entering. That is what peace does. But when you operate in high anxiety, when you let the what-ifs run wild, you have breached the perimeter. You have let the enemy into the control room. You are trying to pray for a breakthrough, but your biology is screaming emergency. You are broadcasting a signal of lack, fear, and panic. And because God transmits on the frequency of trust and rest, you are literally missing the signal. The transaction is trying to download, but your Wi-Fi is turned off. Before I show you exactly how to switch that signal, I need you to commit to something. Do not click away. By the end of this video, I am going to give you a specific activation protocol, a way to sign this new contract with heaven. We will seal this transition from probation to payroll so that you never have to go back to the wilderness again. You have invested years in the struggle. Invest these last few minutes in the solution. Now, look at the pattern of Elijah in 1 Kings 17. When the famine hit, God did not tell Elijah to go out and hustle. He did not tell him to start a business or beg his neighbors. God said, "Hide yourself by the brook Cherith, and it shall be that you shall drink from the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed you there." Catch this. The ravens were commanded to go to the brook. If Elijah had panicked and run to the city, he would have starved. The provision was geometric. It was tied to a specific location of rest. The ravens represent supernatural funding. They are coming. But they are programmed to deliver to a coordinate called rest. If you are running around in panic, you are a moving target. The blessings cannot find you. So here is the dilemma, and I know you feel it. You know you need to trust. You know you need to be in that state of divine stillness, that theta state where your brain is calm and receptive. But how? How do you just turn off the worry when the rent is late? How do you force your brain to stop panicking when you have kids to feed? The ancient monks and prophets would spend 20 years in caves, fasting and meditating, just to reach that state of mind where the noise stops and God's voice becomes clear. They dedicated their entire lives to mastering this frequency. But you do not have 20 years. You have bills due on Friday. You are living in a modern war zone of noise and notifications. It seems impossible to reach that Brook Cherith state of mind, but God is merciful. He knows your frame. And because He knows you need this breakthrough now, not in 20 years, He has allowed science to uncover a shortcut, a way to bypass the panic and tune your mind directly to the frequency of provision. Imagine a tuning fork for your brain. When you strike a tuning fork, everything near it begins to vibrate at that exact pitch. That is what we need for your mind right now. We need to mechanically override the static of your worry. NASA research has confirmed that young children naturally operate in a specific brainwave state called theta. This is the biological equivalent of what the Bible calls the secret place. It is the frequency of creativity, intuition, and direct spiritual connection. It is where you hear God clearly. But as you grew up, the trauma of this world and the stress of survival shifted your brain into beta waves. You lost the signal. This is why you feel blocked. The tool that I use, and the one I recommend to every chosen one who is ready to reclaim their birthright, is a sound technology called the Genius Wave. It uses advanced brainwave entrainment to guide your mind back into that theta state in just 7 minutes a day. You do not need to master complex meditation. You simply listen, and the sound acts as a digital tuning fork, recalibrating your frequency back to the setting where divine downloads occur. It turns the Wi-Fi back on. If your spirit feels led to investigate this technology, I have placed a resource in the pinned comment. It is not a magic pill, but it is a powerful key to unlock the door that stress has bolted shut. But wait, as soon as I mention a solution that does not involve suffering, I can feel a wall go up in your spirit. A voice inside you whispers, if it is that easy, it cannot be from God. Or perhaps you are thinking, easy come, easy go. That is the addiction to struggle talking. You have identified as the suffering hero for so long that you do not know who you are without the pain. You think your poverty makes you holy. You think your struggle validates your calling. That is a lie from the pit. God takes no pleasure in your bills going unpaid. The enemy wants you to believe that receiving requires bleeding, so that you reject the very help God sends. You are afraid that if the money comes easily, it will leave easily. You are terrified of the poverty spirit returning to steal your harvest. So, how do we ensure that when this provision lands, it stays? How do we fire the poverty spirit forever? We apply the open hand protocol. This is the spiritual structure for your new payroll, and it has 3 non-negotiable parts. First is the tithe of honor. This is not about legalism or checking a box. It is about acknowledging the source immediately, so the flow continues. Second is the seed of the future. You must take a portion of what you receive and invest it back into your growth, into tools that sharpen your mind, like the frequency technology we discussed, or into your business. You must prove you can multiply, not just consume. Third, and this is where you struggle most, is the bread of joy. You must spend a portion on pure enjoyment without guilt. Look at Joel 2:26. After God promises to restore the years the locusts have eaten, which is the shalom, the restoration with interest, he says, "You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied." He commands you to enjoy the harvest. If you hoard every cent out of fear that it will run out, you signal to heaven that you are still in survival mode. But if you circulate it with an open hand, you signal that you trust the source is infinite. Let me tell you about David to prove this is real. 6 months ago, he was exactly where you are sitting right now. He had $40,000 in bad debt and a business that was bleeding cash. He was praying, but he was panic praying in beta mode, begging God to save him while checking his bank app every hour. He decided to stop the frantic hustle. He committed to 7 minutes of theta activation every morning using the sound technology, and he applied the open hand protocol to the little bit of money he had left. On day 9, while he was just sitting there listening, not trying to force an answer, a download hit his spirit. It was a slight adjustment to his business model that he had never seen before. He implemented it. In 3 months, the $40,000 was gone. He did not work harder. He aligned his frequency, and the strategy found him. Now, I want you to shift your posture. If you are safe to do so, straighten your spine. If you are driving or lying down, visualize yourself standing tall in the throne room of heaven. Place your internal focus on your heart. We are going to seal this now. This is not just a prayer. This is an activation of your new contract. Father, in the name of Yeshua, we stand on holy ground. We acknowledge that this chosen one has carried the weight of the world for too long. You have seen their tears at 3 a.m. You have heard the silent groans when the bills piled up. You know the integrity of their heart. They did not quit. They stayed faithful in the dark, and now you are rewarding them in the light. I seal the revelation of the theta state in their mind. I bind the spirit of cortisol, the spirit of panic, and the spirit of poverty that has tried to choke their blessing. I command the biological loops of worry to break right now. I declare that their mind is now a fertile ground for divine strategy. I decree that the funding is released. I declare that the years of the locust, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar are being restored right now with shalom interest. The back pay is released. The settlement is signed. The resources required for their destiny are being transferred from the heavenly accounts to their earthly stewardship. Now, chosen one, I have a question for you. Will you carry this? Will you steward this wealth for the kingdom? Will you remain faithful in the plenty, just as you were faithful in the lack? Answer, yes, in your spirit right now. Heaven has heard you. The contract is countersigned. You are commissioned. Go now. You are dismissed from the waiting room. You are released from the holding pattern. Walk in your inheritance. Keep your hand open. Keep your frequency tuned. The drought is over. Rain is here.